Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be debriefing the China World Cups, the first World Cups of the 2026 season. Going into the season I was definitely quite nervous. I think I've said before that this off season me and my coaches did things a little bit differently. Kachao was up first, qualification went pretty well. I came third in my group, I think, fifth overall going into semi-finals, so comfortably through. The highlight of qualification was probably having a buzzer beater finish on the third boulder. They were a really hard set of qualification blocks, which was really nice, really fun. There was one block that didn't get topped by anyone, so like just really hard blocks, really cool moves. And I think the setters are testing the physicality of the women a lot more, which is really cool. Like the second boulder was very tensiony, very hard. The third boulder was just like a straight up strength boulder that was just super old school, but also really hard. So it's cool that they're just really testing the physicality of the women field, and I think the more that they push it, the more the setters will like learn about where the ceiling is, which is just very exciting. So went into semi-finals in 5th place. The semi-finals was definitely a testament to how out of touch almost I felt with competition boulders. The Swiss video, or the last video on the YouTube, the Swiss comp sim, is like the only international comp sim that I've done, and I definitely think that's something that gives me confidence going into the season, just merely from the learning that I do from those. So I'm definitely gonna change that for next year and do more, because I just felt super out of practice during this entire round. The round started off with boulder 1 being this slab that didn't really feel like a slab. Felt like less like trusting your feet and more like trying to squirm your way and find the balance points and stuff. So it was very droppable, very low percentage. I just needed to give myself time on this boulder. I was really close to getting the zone on one of my goes. I actually missed a handhold on the zone, which probably would have helped. So that's another takeaway. But I just felt very rushed in my climbing and in my attempts, and just didn't feel like myself on the mats. I think just feeling out of practice, I felt like I needed to rush.
Who were you on the mats then, if you weren't yourself?
I feel like Mario when he gets that special golden zoom mushroom. You know, the one that you like spam press. That's what I felt like just breathe. And not seeing that handhold on the zone hold is diabolical from me.
Could you see it from the ground?
Yeah, when I freaking touched it, as on my way down. It was just there, and then I was going to the zone hold, like trying to hold it like a sloper, but then realised there was a little tiny crimp on the sloper. So I like went to grab it, I was like, what is that lump? Came down and saw this black jib. I know my eyesight's bad, but it's not that bad. That's just my terrible rereading. Anyway, I was close to the zone on that one, but no zone. I actually think getting the zone on that one would have got me into finals. So small margins. Second boulder, I just wasn't high enough. It was this power boulder. It's this shoulder like elevated jaws move that I just wasn't getting high enough into the shoulders. Ragdolly felt like I was sliding all over the holds, didn't feel strong on it at all, and could not secure the zone. At this point, I'm worried I'm gonna get an Audi. So I need to lock in for the third boulder. An Audi, for anyone who doesn't know, is just getting nothing. 0 top, 0 zones. Where this is coming from Lucy Garlick, my teammate, oh no, actually I think it came from Zoe. But she was like, if I get an Audi in any of the rounds, I'm getting it tattooed. I'm guessing it would only be in a finals or a semis, because it'd be 4 nothings instead of 5 nothing. So I locked in for the third boulder. I don't know about my beater on the third, like the start of the third boulder. I don't think it was the best. I have this thing of like being on holds and then forgetting that the holds around me that I've already used or have yet to use. So I have like hold blindness, which I'm working on, but it's still like I feel like I get tunnel vision and don't look at the wider picture. So I'm not sure what my beta was like. I don't think my beta was very good on the start of that boulder, but I did secure the zone on my first go, so I will not be having a tattoo. I felt like my focus on this climb was a lot better, maybe just fueled by pure determination of not getting nothing. But then at the top, because it's a weird like squirmy boulder, you can sort of crouch like a gargoyle, like on the volume, which is actually something that I always used to do. I always used to lay on volumes when I first got onto the GB team. At my first GB training weekend, I led on a volume. At my second EYC, I just led on a volume.
I remember watching it. It cuts to you, and you're literally just like full body planking on.
I know.
This volume.
This one, boulder 3 was like I was crouched and I was recovering, and it didn't look too goofy. The other ones, it's just like a long like sloped volume, and I'm like trying to mantle onto it, and the problem is that I was just too weak and I needed a little rest for my poor lungs and my muscles. So I just like slowly lowered myself down onto it and just like beached away on there for a little bit. I came 25th. I was well happy.
So you must go straight to finals though?
Yeah.
So you were far away from...
Oh, I was miles away. Do you know who won that comp? I think it was Oriane. Or either she won that one, or the one, my first ever EYC was Sore in Portugal in 2019. And back then for EYCs, I actually don't know what they do now, but back then there were just 8 climbs, and they were like, you have like 2.5 hours or 3 hours or something to do these 8 climbs in whatever order you want, and I think you're allowed 5 attempts. And you just like went round, it was carnage. And I think I topped 3 or 4 of the climbs. I think I topped 3 or 4 of them, and I was like running around the entire 3 hours. And then I see Oriane just walking around in her trainers after like 55 minutes or something. She'd just done them all, and she was just waiting for finals.
Meanwhile,
How long did it take for you to make your first EYC final?
I'd never made an EYC final.
Was your first international final Bangladesh?
Youth Worlds, yeah. And then I made European Youth Champs finals and came 7th. I've also never made a European Cup boulder final, like senior. I've only made a lead one.
And that was back when you were like terrible at lead.
Yeah, I was awful.
Did you do that?
I don't really know. Anyway, that's the story of how I never got a single medal in my youth career or in the European Cup career. So I got the zone on my first attempt and then was sort of crouched on the volume, recovered a little bit. I think that the resting on the volume was actually quite good because I could reset before the final bit, but instead of resetting and focusing in, I sort of lost focus. This is what I mean about feeling out of practice in comps, because usually I would use that time to like fully focus in and like attack the last couple moves. Instead I felt like I was climbing super defensively, super scared. So when I went for the bump, I like didn't quite go far enough and I just like dropped it. The last boulder was a coordination jump. I secured the zone on my first attempt. That was not too bad. Another takeaway from the boulder comp is that a lot of the time in the UK you have to sort of make up your own boulders to get on these kind of coordination block things. I don't have access to those sorts of moves in the UK, and because I haven't been moving around too much, I've gotten in a habit of making stuff up or like forcing movement, and in a way I've sort of forgotten how to climb like myself and climb just how intuitively I want to climb. The coordination move, I've read it as that you jump up and then you go here, here, and I tried that quite a few times until the clock had pretty much run out, and I did feel close but it felt super weird. And on my last attempt I just like said to myself, just do it how you want to do it, and I didn't even think about it and instantly went into this. In the week between like China and Bern, I've been trying as much as I can to just intuitively climb like myself. Always approach climbs as my way first and then think of other ways that it could be done if that way doesn't work, because your way of climbing should always be the first way that you do a move, because it'll most likely be the way that works best for you. So finishing up that round, I was in 11th place. I didn't feel like present at all really during the round, so to come 11th is honestly really shocked me. I didn't feel like anything about my performance was good, really. Yeah, so many mistakes and just so much to look at and improve upon. Obviously, I'm disappointed not to have made finals. The result that comes out of maybe, like, because I did underperform, I think that's just what happened. I underperformed and I wasn't focused in. And I think it sort of is the result of not doing those comp sims before. This was essentially my comp sim to get back into it. So there was lots to take away from it, basically. My teammate Emma made finals. We were both in finals last year in Prague, and we were like really excited that there were two British women in finals together. But then it was cancelled, so we weren't able to climb in the finals. She wasn't able to climb. That was her first World Cup finals. And she made finals in Cachao, so she was actually able to climb in her finals this time. She did very well. In between the comps, I had like 4 or 5 days, so I trained in China and tried to psych myself up for lead. Obviously, my confidence, I think I very much need to work on my confidence, because I want to go into comps being like, I'm ready and I'm gonna do it. Whereas I sort of like dip my toe in until I feel good, and then I like want to be fully confident going into comps. So I'm going to attempt to do that for the next one in Bern. We'll see. If you see me cowering on the mats in the corner, then it's gone badly. Wujiang oh my god, Wujiang had robots. There were robots in their opening ceremony. We're wearing little glittery sequin tops and they were doing kung fu or like some sort of martial arts. They were all waiting. They were stood by waiting to go on the stage. By the way, I always write like a plan of my schedule for the comp. I put off my warm-up for 10-15 minutes. So I was 10-15 minutes behind my schedule just so I could watch these robots.
Is it the same ones that like sometimes malfunction and
Yes.
start like writhing around on the ground?
Yes, so I was incredibly excited. No, but sometimes they walk and they wobble and they come back. Oh, they fell over. So they were like lined up, all cute and proper, waiting to go out, and then they walked out onto the stage. They were all started doing these like crazy like high kicks, all in a line. They were like doing martial arts. And then there was one at the end that was just like just not doing any kicks. He was just like, oh, I can't. Well, clearly he hadn't been programmed to do martial arts, so he just had to entertain in a different way. Wujiang qualification went pretty well. I topped the first route, which felt okay. Second route, climbed okay. I fell off the last move and it was a bit annoying. I think I climbed the majority of it better, but the top bit, I didn't think I climbed very well. So I dropped the last move, which I was very angry with. I think I punched the wall. I think I like fell off, then on my way back into the wall, I punched the wall. And it was probably the ickiest thing ever, because it's probably like, oh. I'm taking kung fu advice from that one robot at the end, on the left side. If you're there, you know which one it is, because it was literally just like this when all the others were. Semi-finals. For semi-finals, I had, I did have one goal. I wanted to top the route, but I just really wanted to be back in finals. So I tried to focus in as much as I could. Honestly, didn't feel super fit on this route. I'm definitely not like peaking loads right now. So this semis route was quite hard in sections for me. There was one clip in the middle before I went over right, which was a bit weird, and then managed to keep it together. Anyway, I fell off on the head wall. It felt okay, but I just went to this left crimp a bit too dynamically. Again, I misread it. I thought it would be like a small bad crimp, but a crimp nonetheless. But it was this like no text jib. As soon as you don't go to like completely control, because it is just like a no text slopey thing, there's just no way of holding it. So I came off there, but it was enough. It was like the third last move, so it was enough to get me into finals. And I was really psyched about that. Obviously a bit disappointed with my performance on the semis route, but just so happy to be back in finals. I think I did let my body do more of what it wanted to do on the finals route.
It wanted to get off.
And it wanted to fall off, so I let it. Through the blue pinchy sections was quite hard, and I think that you need to pick your way of doing it. And I think I did that, and I got through that section. Coming into this campus section, the move up to the blue one was quite hard, and the matching was okay. and I was quite high, like I had quite a good bend in my arms for the next move. I think I just needed to take one more moment before going to the black one. The black one was like this slopey crimp that was dual text, but also like the textured part of it was not a very good texture. It was quite slippery, and also like the dual text was at the front and also at the back, so you needed to hit it well. I think you can tell by watching. Actually, a lot of people were like, I don't understand what happened, because you did hit the crimp and then suddenly you were off. Because I had like like I said, quite a good bend in my arm. I went to it, and then as soon as I grab it, you can tell that like I sag a little bit, even though I'm on the hold. It's because I just grabbed it like really badly. I wasn't accurate enough. And then I tried to change this hand a bit so that I could get my heel on, because I wasn't high enough on this arm to like fully pull into it. And then this hand like slips a little bit, and then I'm just off. When I came off of the route, I wasn't pumped at all. It's more power out because the moves are so hard. I think it was probably like an 8C plus route, so the margin for error is so small. If you catch a hold wrong in like one of the crux sequences, you're off the wall. So it was annoying to come down and not feel like super pumped and tired. It was more just the move was hard, and if there's 2 moves in a row, you need to take the time to be accurate on a hard move instead of like rushing it. So it's good practice. Obviously very disappointed and lots to learn, but I was also very close to a podium, which surprised me as well. I thought when I came down that I just completely messed up and I was going to be super low, so to still be close to a podium is frustrating but also a good sign. Then I got to watch the rest of the finals, which was some of the most insane climbing that I've ever seen. Obviously I bumped up from 5th to 4th place, the podium being Chegan, Yanya, and then Annie took home another gold medal in lead climbing. I think it's her second one. She definitely knows how to fight on the wall, and it's such a cool way to win a gold medal, like fighting that hard. I think it's very impressive, especially on that sort of route. Like so impressive to see Yanya climb it, because she climbed it like perfectly other than that one last move. Whereas Annie, like, there were definitely a few mistakes along the way, so to still get up to the last move is like crazy. But yeah, it was very cool to see. I'm very happy for her. I've been back from China for about a week, and I head to Bern in 2 days for the next World Cup, and I'm very excited. Bern is where I won my first Boulder World Cup gold medal. Not putting any expectations on it, but I just mean it's a...
And it will be the time you win your second World Cup gold.
All I mean is that I've got good experiences there, and it's a really nice place, and the venue is super cool, and I just have lots of good memories there, so I'm going to try and not put any expectation on it, but just like enjoy the atmosphere that I know I will enjoy. And win as well. If I don't, I'm not coming home. If you like the regular uploads, we've been making an effort to put more out there. If you want more, please subscribe, like the video, so that we can make more content. I really enjoy it, but obviously I've got a side hustle, competitive climbing. 100k by the end of 2026. Yeah, what's the first plaque you get?
100,000. I know.
Life goal, 100,000 subscribers, so that we can have a plaque. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in a video shortly. Bye!